Lauren's eyes flew open at 2:47 a.m., her heart pounding against her ribcage. Something was wrong. The guest room door stood wide open, the small bed empty. She shook Christopher awake, whispering urgently. They'd only had the child for 6 hours, and she was already gone. They searched frantically, closets, under beds, behind furniture. Nothing. Then Christopher opened the bathroom door and froze. There, curled up in their bathtub, clutching a stuffed elephant to her chest, was 4-year-old Evelyn. Her eyes were closed, but her breathing was too quick, too shallow. She wasn't asleep. She was hiding. That's when Lauren realized. They'd made a terrible mistake saying yes to this weekend. But to understand why that moment changed everything, we need to go back 3 days earlier, to the moment Lauren and Christopher made a promise to each other that they would never, ever become parents. If you love real-life stories about hope, transformation, and second chances, hit that subscribe button right now. This is one of those heartwarming stories that will stay with you long after the video ends. Now, let's dive in. 3 years. That's how long Lauren and Christopher had been fighting for something that seemed determined to slip through their fingers. 3 years of fertility treatments that left Lauren's body feeling like a battlefield. 3 years of watching their savings account drain while their hearts did the same. The adoption consultation had been their last resort. The social worker had been kind but brutally honest. Years-long wait lists, astronomical costs, birth mothers who changed their minds at the last second. You need to be emotionally prepared for disappointment, she'd said. Lauren had walked out. She was already an expert in disappointment. That evening, sitting across from each other at their kitchen table, they made the decision. No more treatments. No adoption. No foster care. Maybe some people just aren't meant to be parents, Christopher said quietly. Maybe we're enough, just the two of us, Lauren replied. They both wanted to believe it. 6 months passed. They were healing. Lauren threw herself into teaching. Christopher coached Little League. They traveled. They slept in on weekends. Life moved forward. Their friends stopped asking careful questions. The pitying looks faded. But life has a dark sense of humor about the promises we make ourselves. The call came on a Tuesday night in November, at exactly 8:43 p.m. Mr. Martinez, this is Patricia Chen from Child Protective Services. I'm so sorry to call this late, but I'm in a desperate situation. Christopher's face changed. I think you have the wrong number. We're not foster parents. I know. You withdrew your application 2 years ago. I wouldn't normally call, but… She paused, and they could hear muffled crying in the background. I have a 4-year-old girl who was removed from her home 3 hours ago. Every placement is full. If I can't find somewhere safe for her to sleep tonight, she goes to an office building with a CPS worker on a cot. Lauren moved closer, listening. Christopher put the phone on speaker. I can't help you, Christopher said firmly. Just one weekend, Patricia interrupted. Friday to Sunday, please. Her name is Evelyn. The name hung in the air between them. What happened to her? Lauren asked quietly. Patricia's pause was heavy. Things no 4-year-old should experience. She hasn't spoken since we picked her up. She needs somewhere safe, just for 2 nights. Absolutely not, Christopher said after Patricia promised to call back. Lauren, we can't. We agreed. It's 2 days. That's how it starts. A little girl sleeping on a cot in a government building, Christopher. Lauren's voice was steady, but her hands shook. Not fostering, not adoption, just basic human decency. 48 hours. You're going to get attached. I won't. You will. Then I'll deal with it on Sunday, but I can't know a child is sleeping in an office tonight and do nothing. Christopher stared at his wife and felt his resolve crumbling. When Patricia called back, he heard himself saying yes. This was a mistake. He knew it with absolute certainty. When Evelyn stepped out of Patricia's car, Lauren's breath caught. The girl was impossibly small, all sharp angles and hollow spaces. Her dark hair hung limp around a face that was carefully blank. The kind of blankness children learn when showing emotion becomes dangerous. Everything she owned was in that trash bag. Lauren knelt to Evelyn's eye level, careful to keep distance. Hi, Evelyn. You can call me Lauren. We're really glad you're here. Nothing. The little girl stared at the ground. Patricia handed Lauren a thin folder. She hasn't eaten since breakfast. Hasn't spoken since we found her. Give her space. Let her come to you. And then Patricia was gone, leaving them with a little girl who looked like she might shatter if anyone breathed too hard. Let's go inside, Christopher said softly. It's cold. Evelyn flinched, actually flinched, when Christopher reached to help with her bag. He froze, hands up. Message received. Don't touch. Lauren showed Evelyn the guest room. This is yours this weekend. If you need anything, Christopher and I are just down the hall. Our door stays open. Evelyn set her trash bag down with careful precision. She looked at the bed as if she'd never seen sheets and blankets before. Are you hungry? We could make you something. No response. We'll be downstairs if you change your mind. Lauren pulled the door mostly closed but left it cracked, so Evelyn wouldn't feel trapped. Downstairs, Lauren collapsed against Christopher. Did you see her eyes? Like someone turned off the lights inside, he whispered. At midnight, they finally went to bed. At 2:47 a.m., Lauren's eyes flew open. Lauren appeared behind Christopher, and her hand flew to her mouth. Evelyn lay in the bathtub, fully dressed, curled so tightly she barely took up half the space. Silent, shaking sobs. Evelyn, honey, Lauren started. The girl's eyes snapped open, pupils blown wide with terror. It's okay, Lauren said quickly, lowering herself to the floor. You're not in trouble. You can sleep anywhere you want. The bed, the floor, the bathtub, anywhere you feel safe. Christopher knelt beside Lauren. When I was little, I used to hide in my closet when I got scared. Small spaces felt safer, I get it. Something flickered in Evelyn's eyes. Recognition. Do you want a pillow and blanket? Lauren asked. The smallest nod. Lauren brought soft pillows and a fuzzy blanket, setting them within reach but not coming closer. They left the bathroom light on and went back to their room. Neither of them slept. At 5 a.m., Christopher whispered, What kind of home was she in that a bathtub feels safer than a bed? Breakfast was painful to watch. When Lauren placed chocolate chip pancakes in front of Evelyn, the little girl went rigid. Then she ate like she was in a race. No enjoyment, just fuel being consumed as quickly as possible. She cleaned her plate in under 2 minutes. Would you like more? Christopher asked gently. A tiny nod. 3 more pancakes disappeared just as quickly. This child had known hunger. Real hunger. Evelyn, Lauren said softly. There's always food here. You never have to eat fast. You never have to be hungry. Evelyn didn't respond, but something in her posture shifted. After breakfast, Lauren asked carefully, Would you like to get some clothes that fit? We could go to the store. At the word store, Evelyn's head came up, the first spark of interest. 45 minutes later, they were at Target. Evelyn wouldn't pick anything. She'd point when Lauren asked, but wouldn't reach for items herself. They got basics, jeans, shirts, a jacket, pajamas. Lauren snuck in extras, a purple dress with sparkles, sneakers with lights. Then they turned into the toy aisle, and Evelyn stopped walking. There on the bottom shelf sat a large stuffed elephant. Evelyn stared at it, hands clenched at her sides. Do you like elephants? Lauren asked. The smallest whisper. Had one. The first words Evelyn had spoken to them. What happened to it? Gone, like everything. Lauren's heart cracked. Without a word, she put the elephant in the cart. Evelyn's eyes went wide. This one is yours, Lauren said firmly. No matter what. At checkout, Evelyn stood waiting for someone to say this was a mistake, but no one did. Lauren handed her the bag. You can take him out. He's yours. Slowly, Evelyn pulled the elephant out and held it against her chest. What's his name? Lauren asked. Evelyn considered seriously. Chester. That afternoon, Christopher took them to the park. Evelyn watched other children play but wouldn't join. After 10 minutes, Christopher pulled out a soft baseball. My dad taught me to play catch when I was your age. Want to try? For a long moment, Christopher thought she'd refuse. Then she stood up, Chester tucked under her arm. They played catch for 20 minutes. Her throws got better. And on the seventh throw, when the ball actually reached Christopher's glove, Evelyn smiled. Not big, barely a twitch of her lips, but it was real. Then Christopher dramatically missed an easy throw and chased the ball in circles. Evelyn laughed. A pure, childish sound that proved there was still a little girl under all that trauma. Lauren, watching from the bench, felt tears streaming down her face. When they got home, Evelyn asked if she could help make dinner. "Of course," Lauren said. "Do you like cookies?" "Never made them." Lauren wanted to find whoever had failed this child and demand answers. Instead, she smiled. "Let's fix that." Cookie making became a flour war. Lauren started it intentionally. When Evelyn first tapped the flour bag and looked at Lauren expecting punishment, Lauren had simply laughed and did it again. Bigger. Permission granted. 15 minutes of mess and magic. Flour flying. Evelyn's laughter getting louder and freer until it sounded like a child playing. Christopher stood in the doorway watching. Lauren looked happier than she had in years. And Evelyn looked like a kid. Just a regular kid. Later at bath time, Evelyn asked, "Can you stay while I'm in?" Lauren sat while Evelyn bathed, keeping up gentle chatter. And Evelyn, in halting fragments, began to talk. "My mom," Evelyn said suddenly, then stopped. Lauren waited. "My mom didn't make cookies, she made messes and yelling and scary things. That must have been really hard. She's gone now. They took me away." Evelyn's voice got very small. "Do you think something's wrong with me? That's why she was like that?" Lauren's heart shattered. "There is absolutely nothing wrong with you, Evelyn. Not one thing. Some grown-ups are sick in ways that make them unable to take care of kids properly. That's not the kid's fault, ever." After the bath, Lauren read 5 books. Each time she finished, Evelyn whispered, "Another one?" On the 6th book, Evelyn's eyes drooped. "Lauren?" "Yes, honey?" "Thank you for today." Lauren had to wait to be sure her voice wouldn't crack. "Thank you for being here with us." She left the door cracked and went downstairs. They looked at each other, seeing their own emotions reflected. Fear, joy, attachment, dread. "We're in trouble, aren't we?" Christopher said. "Yeah," Lauren whispered. They talked until 2 a.m., about how in less than 2 days this little girl had carved out a space that would leave a crater when she left. "Tomorrow's Sunday," Christopher said. "Patricia picks her up at 3 p.m. I know. But neither could sleep. Sunday morning arrived too fast. "Can we make our pancakes?" Evelyn asked. Our pancakes. 2 days. And she'd already created traditions. They cooked together, creating memories of something that was already ending. At 10 a.m., Patricia called. "I found a placement. I'll be there at 3 p.m. Evelyn was standing in the doorway and had heard everything. "I have to leave," she said flatly. "Yes, honey. But you're going to another nice family." "I know." Not surprised, not disappointed, just resigned. "It's okay. I'm good at leaving." That sentence gutted them both. Evelyn walked upstairs. They heard her door close softly. Lauren sat at the table and put her head in her hands. Christopher stared out the window. "We could ask," Lauren finally said. "We could tell Patricia we want to keep her." "Don't." Christopher's voice was rough. "We can't do this. We made a decision. Foster care is complicated. There are no guarantees. There are never guarantees, Christopher. With anything. We'll fail her. Or we could save her. What if we don't try? What if we let her go and spend the rest of our lives wondering?" Christopher turned. His eyes were red. "You really think we could do this? I think that little girl upstairs trusted us. I think she laughed yesterday. I think she called it our recipe. I think she chose us, Christopher. And maybe we need to choose her back." They sat in silence while the clock ticked toward 3 p.m. At 2:30, they went upstairs together. Evelyn had packed everything, changed back into her original clothes, making herself small again. "Evelyn," Lauren said, sitting beside her, "can we talk about something? Did I do something wrong?" "No, you've been wonderful. That's what we want to talk about." Christopher sat on her other side. "When you came Friday, we thought it was just for a weekend. But something happened we didn't expect. Evelyn looked up, guarded. We loved having you here, Lauren continued, and we were wondering, how would you feel about staying? Not just for a weekend, maybe forever. Evelyn went very still. What do you mean? We want to become your foster parents, Christopher said, and if everything works out, we'd like to adopt you. Make this your real home. The silence stretched. Evelyn stared, then shook her head. You don't want to? Lauren's heart dropped. You don't mean it, Evelyn whispered. You're just being nice. Everyone's nice at first. Then they change their mind. We're not going to change our mind, Christopher said firmly. You will. Everyone does. I heard grown-ups talking before. They said I'm too broken, too much work. Lauren dropped to her knees in front of Evelyn. Listen to me. You are not broken. You are strong and brave and wonderful. And yes, this is scary for all of us. We've never been parents before. We're going to make mistakes, but we want to try with you if you'll let us. What if? Evelyn's voice cracked. What if I'm bad? What if I have nightmares or get scared or mess things up? Then we'll figure it out together, Christopher said. That's what families do. Family? Evelyn whispered the word like she'd never said it before. If you want, Lauren said. Do you want that, Evelyn? Do you want to stay with us? For a long moment, Evelyn said nothing. Then, so quietly they almost missed it. Yes. Yes? Yes. Louder this time. More certain. I want to stay with you. Both of you. And Chester. Lauren pulled Evelyn into her arms, and this time Evelyn didn't flinch. She held on tight, Chester squished between them. Christopher wrapped his arms around both of them, and for the first time in 3 years, he felt complete. When Patricia arrived at 3 p.m., they met her at the door together, all three of them. There's been a change of plans, Lauren said, her hand on Evelyn's shoulder. We'd like to keep Evelyn, start the foster process. We want to adopt her. Patricia's professional mask cracked into a genuine smile. Are you sure? They looked at Evelyn, who looked back with hope and fear warring in her eyes. We're sure, Christopher said. 6 months later, Evelyn's room was filled with her drawings, her trophies, her dreams. The bathtub was just a bathtub again. The trash bag had been thrown away. At family dinners, Evelyn talked nonstop about school, friends, everything. Lauren was her teacher. Christopher coached her soccer team. She'd stopped flinching when they reached for her. She'd started asking for hugs. The adoption was finalized on a Tuesday in May. Judge Harrison smiled as she signed the papers. Congratulations, Martinez family. Evelyn Martinez. It was official. That night, tucking Evelyn into bed, Lauren asked, How do you feel? Safe, Evelyn said simply. Finally safe. We love you so much, Christopher said. I love you too, both of you. She paused. Mom, Dad. The first time she'd said it, Lauren kissed her forehead. Christopher turned off the light. They stood in the doorway watching her sleep peacefully, Chester tucked under her arm. We said no to adoption, Lauren whispered. Until we saw her face, Christopher finished, and neither of them could imagine their lives without her. These are the real-life stories that matter, the heartwarming stories of hopeful journeys that start in darkness and find their way to light. The stories of broken people healing each other. The stories of families built not by blood, but by choice, courage, and love. If this story touched your heart, please like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. There are thousands of children like Evelyn waiting for families like Lauren and Christopher, families who are willing to say yes when it matters most. Subscribe to our channel for more real-life stories of hope, transformation, and the power of love to change everything. And remember, sometimes the family you're meant to have is the one you choose. Thank you for watching.